welcome. You're watching NewsX and I'm Megha Sharma, and this is VaKu, the special edition where India is celebrating the 75th year of independence and the relationship the country shares with the rest of the world in the last 75 years and more. Joining me on the broadcast is a very special guest. It's Her Excellency Pattarat Hongtong. She is the ambassador of Thailand to India. It's good to have you, Your Excellency, on the broadcast with us.
Swadika, and thank you for inviting me to your show.
Swadika. Your Excellency, my first question to you is going to be about the historical ties between Thailand and India that go much beyond the official diplomatic relationship that both countries have forged since India got independence in 1947. In fact, it was since 1500 BC that there have been cultural, trade, religious ties that have bonded both the nations together. How have you envisaged all these centuries that have gone by in terms of the strong connection, and a natural one at that both Thailand and India share?
Yeah, you have mentioned the histories already that we have started a bit very long over centuries ago, and starting by the missions of the Buddhist monks visiting the what you called at that time Suvarnabhumi, which Thailand is located in this day, and Southeast Asia basically. So we have learned, the cultures and religious and things through the missionary from the Buddhism at that time. And after that, I think the relations have been developed from the religious to a more cultural linkage, starting from perhaps about 15,000 years that we start having a trading route connecting India and Southeast Asia, including Thailand. So then we learn and share the cultures with Indians through trade, through the merchants. For example, the textile technique, which is one of the issues that we share. We bought clothes, we bought materials from India, and at the same time we share our patterns and motifs and learn the technique from India. Still those days we wear the Indian clothes from the market, peoples in the market, up to the royal court. And we learn the techniques of brocade. We have the clothes from Varanasi brocade. We have the ikat from perhaps Patola or maybe other regions from India. And at the same time, we also send the pattern to India to paint what they call kinch. That kind of the materials that we ask Indian artists to do those days. And we still, this day, we still have those kind of techniques in our cultures. So that's one of the cultural side that we share with India in the past, in the maybe let's say middle age of relations. And now I still believe that whatever that relations between our two countries has developed into, all based on the cultural linkage that have been the strong foundations. So we see that now we could expand our relations to other areas, more contemporary and also more multifaceted. But it's all based on the cultural linkage between the peoples, between the goods and products, between the perceptions and cultures. Yeah. So it's really key, important issues that we still want to maintain and promote. But on the other side of the bilateral cooperations these days, in this contemporary, in this 75 years of diplomatic relations, things has changed a lot and developed a lot. So we see the cooperations on the political aspects. We have the exchange of the highest ranking dignitaries, Prime Minister, Foreign Minister, and even the royal family that from Thailand to India. And also we see the cooperations in the term of consultations on the security issues, that we have kind of staff talk between the military and also the participation from the delegation from Thailand to the seminars or conference on the security issues like cyber securities and some other securities. And also the most important perhaps the trade that have been developed from the past through the more modern trade that we have import and export. And the volume of trade has been increased sharply, let's say, that we come to the new heights of the volumes that before COVID-19 we used to have the numbers about 12 billion US dollar for the bilateral trade. But now, last year, after COVID-19, we could, keep the number up to 14.5, 0.9, sorry,
Which is a
billion US
stupendous
dollar, which is
task.
the best ever.
Yeah.
So we see the trend that for the trade itself, our two countries could complement to each other, and the gap of the trade between the two sides has been narrowed down. And on the investment, which is quite new, we used to have a lot of all the big names of Indian industrialists in Thailand, investment in Thailand, and now we have the Thai investor in India and increasing. Within the past few years, I think we have more than 37 companies of Thai registered in India, perhaps more, since and now we see the strong interest from the Thai private sector entrepreneurs to work together with India. Lately, I just came back from northeastern regions. We took the Thai private delegations led by the Deputy Secretary Generals of the Thai Chamber of Commerce to visit Northeast to see the possibility how could we extend our trade and investment cooperation with this region, which is so close to us. So these are the trade and investment that we have seen. But on the other issues, we already have a lot of discussions and work on the other fields. For example, the pharmaceutical and also the public health sector that we have close collaborations. And also perhaps on the other issue like space, we also have the MOU on that. And also other areas that we want to focus more this year like startup. So these are the dynamisms of the relations that we want to see is, come up to a kind of a closer partner between our two countries.
Yeah, and you've beautifully encapsulated all these sectors and variety of roles that the diplomacy play, our officials play, our dignitaries play. And you rightly mentioned that the Prime Minister had visited. There have been a number of dignitary visits from Thailand to India. Very, very recently, it was the External Affairs Minister Jai Shankar who had visited the Thailand Foreign Minister. And there were a number of these agreements, MOUs that had been signed, discussed. But there has been a lack of a formal free trade agreement that has perhaps disallowed Thai investors to get into the Indian market? And do you think that is opening up, keeping in mind that you just told me a while ago that you ended up visiting to the northeastern part of the country, and the similarities between the people in the northeast are much, much higher with the Thai people in terms of culture, in terms of the facial similarities, in terms of how you look, even the kind of handicrafts that are also available, the clothes that are available, the lifestyles that people lead. How can an impetus be put forth to allow for further free trade between particularly the Northeast, which has also been Prime Minister Modi's Act East policy, Act Northeast and Act East policy?
Interesting questions. Actually, the two countries, Thailand and India, we already have the free trade agreement, and also within the ASEAN-India free trade agreements. And I believe that the both private sectors, from both sides, have tried to utilize this mechanism to facilitate the increasing trade and investment. But at the same time, we see that there should be some other new, approach that could help enhance the activities on the economic sector. So the Ministry of Commerce of Thailand has come up with the new initiative by approaching at the state level. Apart from the central government, we focus more on the interaction with the state level. So we introduce some kind of what we call MOU on the facilitations and cooperations on trade and investment in each particular state in India, since we realize that India has the unique political structures between the central government and also each state. At the same time, the uniqueness of the market itself between each state. So the way we look to India, we look into big picture, but the way you act with India, you have to act locally with each state. So we are approaching with some of the states in India to have the kind of MOU, the state MOU. We already signed one between Ministry of Commerce of Thailand and the Ministry of Industries of the Telangana. And in the pipeline, we supposed to have with perhaps the Maharashtra, Karnataka, and also Assam, that in the pipeline, and some other states. So we are working out. So this is one of the the initiative that we hope that it will help to promote our two ways economic interactions. And of course that apart from that we need to utilize the mechanism between private sector that already have. We have the Indo-Thai Business Forum. Yes. So we want to encourage the private sector of both sides to have more regular meetings in physical. So we hope to see more exchange of information, meetings, and also share information between the two private sector of both countries. And I think apart from this, you have mentioned the Northeast. I would say that apart from the bilateral, we also, Thailand and India, we are both the members of the regional and international framework of cooperations. So the most perhaps well-known one is the Mekong Ganga cooperations and also the BIMSTEC, which is the Bay of Bengal multi-sectoral economic and technical cooperations that comprise all the countries in these regions. And India and Thailand, we stand close to each other through what you have mentioned, Act East policies of the Indian government and also the Look West policies of Thailand. Yeah. So through these policies, we complement each other on bilateral as well as on the regional cooperations that I have mentioned. This year, Thailand is the chairman of the BIMSTEC. Yeah. So we look to work closely with India to enhance BIMSTEC and promote BIMSTEC to link with other regional cooperation frameworks as well as international forum. So Thailand want to promote what we call provisions for BIMSTEC, mean the prosperous BIMSTEC, mean the countries, member countries could be, be sustainable in the next economic recoveries, as well as the resilience that we all have to face the challenge that come by the COVID-19. And openness mean we want to include all the stakeholders to engage with the BIMSTEC and make BIMSTEC a real regional forum. So these are the examples that the relations between Thailand and India has gone, far beyond the bilateral basis, but now come up to the regional and international forums. So I believe that all these kind of multilateral and regional cooperations could finally be inducive factor for enhancing our bilateral relations finally.
You've spoken about the startup technology. You've spoken about how space sector is something that the Thailand government and the various ministries are looking to tap into when it comes to building this strong collaboration between India and your country. When it's also pertinent to mention on the same breath 5G technologies, semiconductors that are at this point of time being looked upon as the big ticket sectors to allow for countries to gain in terms of exports. Are there any possible future explorations that Thai industries and investors are looking at in setting up joint ventures in India or vice versa in these particular sectors, 5G, semiconductors?
For this sector, I have to say that for the semiconductor itself, Thailand is have the keen interest and also the capability to invest outside. And we already have the Thai company for the semiconductor invested in India with the partners in India. So that's good sign. We hope to see more, but of course, investment overseas, we have to deal with a lot of issues. Luckily that the embassy work closely with Invest India and other private sectors and economic sectors in India to help promote Thai investment in India, not only on the semiconductor, but on the digital and also on the startup. Yeah. That we have to do separately because the way handling is different. Startup is people, they have their own business. What we see, we always regard India as the fast growing country for the startup and unicorn. You have 107 unicorns, I think. So we always look up to India that how can we explore the possibility to work together. Right now we are talking about building some kind of platform to bridge the startup in Thailand and also a startup in India. As well as we look to the young entrepreneur that they are a big number in each country. Like my trip to Northeast regions, we also took some of the young entrepreneurs from Thailand and they met young entrepreneurs in northeastern regions. So they, as they are in the same age, they use same technology, so they can catch up among themselves easily. So we see this potential. The job of the government is to try to provide the platform and opportunity for the startup, the young entrepreneur of the Thailand and India to meet, exchange information, and perhaps build the network. And in the future, it will come up to perhaps concrete corporations like joint ventures.
Yeah.
So that is the objective, and we try to organize some activities to promote this kind of platform.
Okay. I'm also going to ask you about the ease of doing business and the kind of challenges private investors may have faced in the past, those who have been wanting to set up base in India. You said that recently there has been a surge of Thai investors, private industries, to come into India and set up base. You said that you have been heading it at the forefront when it comes to building these collaborations and signing these MOUs and agreements in Telangana, in Maharashtra, Karnataka, and several other places, in the Northeast, Assam as well. What is it that you require from the government of India to allow for any hiccups to then be smoothed out?
Actually, we already have some complementary or the advancement of between our two countries through the connectivities of the people, that culture that I have mentioned earlier, which is the foundations of relations, and also the connectivities of the maritime route and also the road that connect Thailand with India through Myanmar on the IMT, Indian-Myanmar Thailand trilateral highways. So we see all these connectivities there. The issue that we have to work with the Indian government and private sector is how to relax some of the measures on the tax and custom. These are the some key issues that we have facing right now and in the past. So we have to know the system in India, who is who, and what is where, and where is what. So it's quite complicated to deal with India. I have to accept on promotions of the investment and also trade, since we have to really have the deep knowledge to handle and to engage with both the government sectors and also the private sector.
Yep.
So the regulations, the tariff and non-tariff barriers are the key issues that we have to focus and try to solve this problem. So I'm sure that without all these issues, there will be more increasing cooperations between two sides.
Okay, all right. And then, of course, you being the spokesperson and the ambassador for Thailand and coming over here and having interactions with a number of ministries, a number of private entrepreneurs, bringing in delegations after delegations, all helps in forging the path ahead for collaborations and cooperation and removing all these problematic issues of bureaucracy or red tapeism or everything else. You spoke about logistics as well, something very, very, very important for an investor looking to export out of Thailand and getting their products into India, or setting up industry, setting up plants over here. So those are technical issues, core issues have to be resolved. They are in the process of being resolved. With the kind of communication that you have is commendable, it's incredible. And before I let you go, Ambassador, I'm also going to ask about the people-to-people connect. That's the most important. Like you said, India is a country of a huge population, almost 1.4 billion. I think officially it's 1.3, I think unofficially 1.4. And then we talk about Thailand and the people of Thailand. And we've spoken already at the start that there are these natural allies that Thailand and India have been for centuries together. How can this people-to-people connect be further utilized to allow for a plethora of activities, whether it is in trade, whether it is about the startup industries, space, I don't know, defense could be something that could also be looked at between both the nations. How can these natural allies factor be utilized to then reach the target that we both are hoping to reach?
Yes, I believe that people exchange is the heart of everything. It's kind of springboard for the closer cooperations between Thailand and India, and of course even other countries. So we have to work harder to promote the people-to-people exchange. The key issue that we try to do now in India is to promote the young and the peoples in India to know Thai, new Thai as a new Thai, I mean, what is going on in Thailand, what is contemporary Thai. And at the same time, we want Thai people to know India as New India, with the basis, with the background that we share the common heritage, cultures, religions, and so many things. So we hope that promote tourism is the key. And at the same time, we have to promote people to people exchange through other areas, as well as like students, young people, young entrepreneur, business. They are all people. So whatever we can do in India, we try our best. So in this year, we plan to bring some of the delegations from Thailand to India, India to Thailand. We promote some of the cultural activities to promote awareness among young people in India about Thailand. So there are a lot of plans that we plan to do this year.
Thank you so much, Ambassador, for sharing all these varied aspects that may have been obscured, particularly to the common eye. And thank you for putting in focus and building a roadmap from where India and Thailand go ahead in the next 75 years and even beyond that. It's been great interacting with you. Thank you so much for joining me on the NewsX telecast, and here's hoping for a more synergized boost between both the nations for the key aspects where we are looking to build our trade, where we are looking to build our cultural as well as diplomatic ties. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
For more such videos, subscribe to the NewsX YouTube channel, hit the bell icon.